25 is a little different than what we've been doing. So in the previous couple of problems with this bowling situation, we're given what the bowler bowls, and then we find out what percentile they're in, okay? In this case, we're given the percentile, and we want to know what they bowled. So, so we're still going to use z equals x minus mu over sigma, but this time we don't know x. That's what we're looking for. So we can fill this out and say x minus 191 point, what was it, 8? Yeah. Divided by 13.8. But what is z? Remember that z is your z-score from this table. So what you need to do is in the main part of the table, you need to find the percentage that is closest to 90%. In this case, it's right here. It's 0.9032. But now we look at the z-score that goes with it, right? We look at what it corresponds to, and it's 1.3. So that's what z is going to equal. Okay? And now I just do the algebra. I'm going to multiply both sides by 13.8. Okay, that gives me 17.94 equals x minus 191.8. I add 191.8 at both sides and I get x equals 209.74. Well, I can't have a decimal for a bowling score, so this rounds to 210. Now, I think I left it on the key as 209.74. Technically that is incorrect, but it's fine. If you left it like that, that's fine. Okay, moving on to number 26. All right, these are very similar. Okay, kids talking on the cell phones. About, let's see, the number of minutes per day spent talking on a cell phone by a sample of 412 students is normally distributed with a mean of 41.9 minutes and a standard deviation of 14.4 minutes. Okay, now this is asking how many of the students spend more than 60 minutes. Okay, well, we're going to use this formula again. So I've got z equals 60 minus my mean, which is 41.9, divided by the standard deviation, and I get about 1.3. So when I find that on the table, it's 0.9032. So 90.32% of students talk 60 minutes or less, okay? But I want more. So this, I need to subtract it from 1, and I get 0.0968, which is 9.68% of students, but they're asking me how many. So now I multiply by 412, and I get approximately 40 students. I was just about to say, any questions? But you're not here. Okay, number 27. All right, what is the probability that a randomly selected student will spend less than 20 minutes? Okay, so this one's straightforward. We've got our 20 minus 41.9 over 14.4. This is approximately negative 1.5. This is 0.0668 or 6.68%. And that's the answer. All right. Moving on to, okay. Here we've got 28 and 29 are similar to number 25, right, number 25, that I showed you before. Okay, so this one, they're wanting to know, they said your baby's in the 90th percentile. How much do they weigh, right? So I think we use the 90th 90th percentile up here and found that it was 1.3. So we're gonna take 1.3 equals x, because we don't know, minus the average, which is 7.2, divided by my standard deviation of 1.1. I multiply both sides by 1.1 to get rid of the denominator. And I get x minus 7.2 equals 1.43. And then I add 7.2 to both sides. So the baby is 8.63 pounds. Okay? All right, same question, but this time the 15th percentile. And again, if we look up in our table, the closest I can get to 0.15 looks like -1.0. Okay, so -1 equals x minus 7.2 over 1.1. And I'm going to multiply both sides by 1.1. So I get x minus 7.2 equals -1.1. I add 1.1 to both sides, and I get a 6.1 pound baby. Okay? All right. We will move on. Let me see. The next one that is really involves math, okay, is number 49. So we will go to number 49 right here in the next video.